Let's shift over to the Patriots draft, Robbie.
Well, what do you think about the Patriots draft, Jules? Let's get right into it, man.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot. And being in the media now, you got your circles. You got your circles, and I call all these little circles, all my little sources everywhere that are still affiliated with teams, still in the mix, as they like to say. And I just asked some questions about certain guys. I said, hey, is T-Rex Arms going to be all right? And they all say this kid's a fucking killer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about Campbell. Everyone talks about the short arms. After I saw his interview, said he would fucking die for Drake May. It gave me low-key some Logan Mankin vibes.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me some Logan fucking Mankin vibes where he's like just country and the last, just super country guy. And the last undersized tackle that everyone thought we missed on was this guy named Matt Light from Purdue in the second round, I believe, who was way too small to play tackle, played for us for what, 11, 12 years, 3 Super Bowls, fucking stud. I'm super excited about that pick. I'll let you go to one of your favorite picks. Who do you like?
Yeah, I really like Campbell. I think it wasn't just a position need.
I think I really love him.
That's the best part about this pick is that it was a position need for the New England Patriots, but also at the same time, I believe that he was one of the best available players in the draft too. It wasn't like a far reach, oh, we need an offensive tackle, let's just draft the first guy, that even though he's not deserving of a top 10 pick, he was deserving of a top 10 pick. So it goes hand in hand. Wonderful pick. And what I'm really excited about, though, was their second round pick in the running back that they got out of Ohio State. TreVeyon Henderson, I think he can walk right into the Patriots organization and possibly be, their starting running back from day one. And what I really like about this guy is that he's going to make Drake May feel really, really comfortable in the pocket, not just because he's going to get the run game going, but because he's one of the best pass protecting backs to come out of college football in some time. So it's third down. It's a crucial situation. You need to get the first down, to keep your chances alive to win the game. And boom, here comes the linebacking blitz, the linebacker blitzing, right up the A gap, and boom, TreVeyon Henderson picks him up. Drake May don't got to worry about it. Gets the ball off to Stephon Diggs. First down, the chains are moving. That's why this was a huge pickup in my eyes. I believe he has a first-round grade as well, but they got him in the second round. So it was a steal. The Patriots, A to an A+ in the draft rankings. Probably the best draft out of all the teams this year. Congratulations to Vrabel and the front office in their first year doing it with the Patriots.
Yeah, no, you can tell by their draft, and in comparison to the last couple drafts that they've had, that they wanted to make a statement for like certain guys, like the Will Campbell. That's a statement. He's a culture builder type guy. After I don't even know him, I haven't met him, but just hearing the way he speaks, seeing his demeanor, that's a culture guy. That's a culture builder. The TreVeyon Henderson, I mean, last time we played in a couple Super Bowls, we had running backs that had 13-plus catches, Shane Vereen and White, Sweet Feet. Like, they got Stevenson for like the Benny law firm kind of guy, north-south runner, and then you get Henderson with Josh McDaniels, pairing him with Josh McDaniels. I see so many Sproul routes in my head right now. The Sproul coming out of the backfield, cross up that linebacker, great matchups with the running back, which is really good for the quarterback. Because a lot of these young guys, they like that all go. And so, hey, we'll give them the all go, but then we'll have the running back do his little thing. If you got to get a guy that can get open and block, that's huge. I've heard some really good things about this Kyle Williams kid out of Washington State. Everyone I've asked about him, I haven't watched a lot of them, but they're all like, man, we liked him. We liked him a lot.
Well, Julian, hold on for a second. When you're 69th pick in the draft, you're always going to have good juju around you. You'll never be a bust. Guy had 18 touchdowns, over 2,000 yards, I think, over his last 2 seasons at Washington State too. He's kind of like a Steve, Smith ability,
Yeah.
I would say a little bit like that, I just think it's a great pick
You
overall.
gotta be tough to be
explosive.
Steve.
Gotta be tough.
Hey, we've had him here in this nut house. You better be fucking. You better make people scared with your eyeballs if you're Steve Smith. Getting Steve Smith comparisons. That dude's intimidating, but he's an awesome dude.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they got another center. They, the Jared Wilson out of Georgia, center guard. Revamping this offensive line that was. It was like I hate saying it, but they were terrible last year. They were bad, like in all statistical categories. Like they go out and they get the guy from the Jets, Moses. You draft Will Campbell. You bring in Jared Wilson to be a part of that interior part of the line. From what I hear, Scarnecchio is consulting over there. Maybe old Scar was in the building breaking down this film, getting guys according and right for the system that he knows. With Josh McDaniels? I don't know. This is what I have no sources, but that's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what about the kicker from Miami?
I think that's a great pickup. I'm actually surprised, like how people are surprised that the Patriots grabbed the kicker in the 6th round. It's a 6th-round pick. Usually you cut a guy. I can't believe kickers don't go higher in the draft, especially, when they're money. How many points do a kicker produce throughout the season in just a single game? It's usually around probably average, 1 to 2 field goals a game. That's plenty of points, possibly game-winning situations as well at end of the game. So picking up a kicker that's dedicated, that that's going to produce, I think that's big. Yeah, 2nd-round pick, 3rd round for a kicker, is not really doable, but grabbing a kicker in the 6th round is absolutely no risk. I think it's a wonderful pickup for the Patriots.
Sebastian Janikowski went in the 1st round.
Yeah. That was the only kicker of all time that won the 1st round, correct?
Did Ray Guy? I think Ray Guy did too. He's a punter.
I don't think we're going to see that happen again.
I don't know, but hey, that was Al Davis. That's Al Davis. But with the kicker, like to your point, Rob, I agree with you 1,000%. If you look at all these cornerstone teams that have won Super Bowls, they all have a great kicker. When we were playing, we had Steve Gostkowski. The team before us had Adam Vinatieri. The Peyton Manning teams over there in Indy, when they had Vanderjagt, they lost. When they got fucking Vinatieri, they won a Super Bowl. You look at the Chiefs right now, Buckhead, or what is this, Buckhurt? Buckner. Buckner's he's dialed. You look at the Ravens, just Tucker. Like, he's won them a lot of games. So, like, having a kicker, I remember just being in and hearing the coaches and Scotty O'Brien, like, they would always talk about you need to have a guy that can make those kicks. 40, 50, and then he has to be 100%. Because that changes how you call plays. That changes your demeanor for the offense. That changes how you defend teams. Everything revolves around the special teams. It's such a huge equalizer, and having a great kicker makes that. So I agree with you.
I just really love what the Patriots did throughout this whole draft too. They drafted a player that they needed at that position, and it wasn't just reaching out to grab a guy for that need at that position. It was getting value as well with the pick. For example, Joe Cardona, one of the longest tenured Patriots. It was just time, I guess, for him to go. You got a new resume, Vrabel wants new players in there. He wants his own players. And then they go out and they get a long snapper in Julian Ashby in the 7th round. Technically might not work out. It's a 7th round pick, but still, for the value of a 7th round pick for a position that you need to fill, it makes sense. You got the kicker as well in the 6th round. David Andrews got released this year. Absolute legend, a Patriots legend, another one. But it's a Vrabel resume now, once again. So it was just time, for him to go. And then they get a center/guard in the 3rd round with Jared Wilson that we were talking about out of Georgia, who ran a 4.8 40-yard dash at 310 pounds. This guy fits the Patriots mold.
Reminds me of Shaq Mason.
Shaq Mason.
Shaq Mason. That's kind of Shaq, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Shaq was just an athletic beast.
Remember, Shaq was super. He was super athletic. So the line guys are starting to look like guys that I kind of can see, which last few years it wasn't looking like that other than David Andrews, but, he was banged up with his shoulders. Vrabel was really close to Lonnie Paxton, so he had to get a long snapper in the 7th named Jules. Yeah, don't think I'm fucking. Don't think I don't know, Vrabes. I know you shotgunning some beers with Lonnie Paxton over at the Red Bull fucking fridge in the locker room. We heard the stories, Vrabes. That's why you got old Jules in the 7th round, huh?
We know those stories, Bubs.
What about these undrafted guys? Let's give some undrafted guys some love.
They got some pretty solid,
Efton,
solid undrafted players. You're talking about the Efton Chism. Yeah, he's got to be chiseled.
Eastern Washington.
He's got to be chiseled.
Eastern Washington.
Blue football field. I know that. That's why I know about Eastern Washington. They put that blue turf in. They wanted the copy.
Red.
Oh, the red turf.
You're thinking of Boise State.
State has the blue turf, but they wanted the copy Boise State, and they put that blue turf in. I remember everyone complaining about it for a little bit. But Efton Chism, he better be chiseled if your last name is Chism, out of Eastern Washington. I mean, his senior year, he produced 120 receiving, receptions, over 1,300 yards and 13 TDs. That's second to Cup in all time in receptions at Eastern Washington.
Old Cooper Cup.
Old Cooper Cup.
Old Cooper Cup alum.
Eastern Washington guy.
What's his speed? Let's look him up. What is his speed?
He probably more quick, I would say. That's how you get 100.
Quicker than fast.
That's
clearly
how you get 120 receptions. You got to be quicker, than your.
What did he run? Did he go to the combine?
4.740 he ran. It's average. That's what I ran. Yeah. He's probably really, really quick.
Yeah, but you're another human. You have a whole nother human on your body.
He's got to be really, really quick out of his breaks, I bet. Explosive, but, just top-notch speed just isn't there. That's okay, though.
That's what special teams are for, buddy. Now, running back Larson out of UC Davis, the agricultural school out of Sacramento. Wow. I almost went to UC Davis, Rob.
Really? To play football or baseball?
My old high school head coach, Velskow, this big-ass Polish guy, Coach V, he took me and Tyrese Jacks to go see UC Davis because he graduated from there. It was Division I AA, but that's what that's my memory of UC Davis. I don't remember. I remember it was beautiful, but I heard, this guy's a bell cow, huh? Let's see him. Oh, he's a steer wrestler. Oh, this has got special teams written all over it. He's strong, obviously.
Really
he's
strong.
Fucking wrestling. He's wrestling them cows. Nah, that these two dudes probably could freaking. They could probably compete for special teams. I mean, that's what you bring these guys in, and to build depth, build depth to your starters, and compete on the special teams. That's how I made the damn team.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, they're long shots. They're dark horses to make the roster. But, hey, guys, remember, there's the practice squad. I think there's, up to 13 to 15 guys in the practice squad now. You can, sit on that squad for a year to develop, go against the first team defense of the New England Patriots, practice your skills, learn the ins and outs of the NFL, just improve on a daily basis as an undrafted free agent. And then, boom, you can become a special team star out of nowhere. You can start getting some reps with the third team and show your skills, and then all of a sudden someone goes down and you get a call and you got to fill in at the game, and boom, that's your shot. And just never know when it's going to come, so just always be prepared and always be ready and give it your best every single day. Always have a chip on your shoulder, you undrafted free agents. You always get a shot, so just keep working at it.
And the one thing for guys in the later rounds, undrafted guys, mistakes are going to be made. You just can't make the same mistake twice. Coaches will give you some, they're expecting you to make mistakes. Don't make it twice. Know your shit. Know your formations. Know all your coaching points, and think to yourself that they are going to call on you at all times because they can. I don't know how this is going to be, but I'm just saying be that prepared because you have to give it everything you have, because once the vets come in and you'll have these little camps when the vets aren't there, and you'll have the rookie camp, and you'll have these reps. The reps are going to go down, and the only reps you're going to get are in special teams. So you got to like do really good on those things, do all their techniques, know the names, know the terms, know the formations, know what the other side of the ball has to do, so you know your responsibility, know conceptually what's going on, not just what you're doing. And that's how you make the team. And you improve, like Gronk said, every day. Don't make a mistake. Think you're getting cut every day. That's how fucking life and death this shit is. That's how life and death this shit is. I remember going to Brian Hoyer and Ornberger's room every night to go over my fucking formations, my play, my personnel groups, my concepts. And I didn't even sniff the field on offense. But we did have your little period at the end where it's called, what is it? What was it called? Makeup period, or that one period where you go, kind of younger guys on younger guys to give them their reps.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's just not clicking in my mind.
Yeah. But you got to take advantage of that. Any rep you get is being watched. This isn't college anymore. They don't have a backup to the backup long snapper. There's not 120 guys on a fucking team. There's 53 and 15, maybe 16 practice squad guys. That gets small when you see it for the first time.
A lot of great points, Julian. A lot of great points made right there. And talking about just going over your, the personnel, the formations and all that, as just a higher, round draft pick, I would say you get a little bit more opportunity. You get a little bit more room for mistakes. But eventually, if you make too many mistakes, they'll still put that undrafted free agent in front of you because you're making too many mistakes. As an undrafted free agent, you don't want to make a mistake twice, like you said. As a first round, second round, you make it twice, they're going to just keep getting on you. They're going to start yelling at you more and more until you finally pick it up. Because like I said, you're a higher draft pick. They're investing more into you, so you have a little bit more room for error. But I'm not saying you want to make those errors. I'm just saying if it happens, but you got to hurry up and correct them. And one way I corrected it was the formations. I really didn't know the formations out on the football field too well because there was just so many when I got to the New England Patriots. In college, it was like I line up on the right, put my hand down, and sometimes in the slot, and I just go. There was like 5 formations. When I got, with Brady and company, and with Josh McDaniels, Coach Belichick, let me tell you, there's about 50 different formations I had to learn, and I was all over the place, lining in the wrong spot,
personnel groups,
and lining up in the wrong spot, coming out of the huddle. So therefore, I stayed after practice with my coach my rookie year for about an hour every single day with Coach Ferentz, and we went over the formations just to make sure I knew where to line up the next day and I could do it quickly so I wasn't thinking. Because the second you're thinking, you're beat. Because if you're thinking what you got to do, you can't really react to the play. And then the DB or linebacker gets up in your grill and just whoops your ass. So don't be thinking out there on the field. Hurry up and get in that playbook and don't make those mistakes on a daily basis that you already made.
Yeah, and then also for like the higher drafted guys, I remember like there was higher drafted guys that knew they got more opportunity and took advantage of that and then didn't pan out. When you're a higher drafted guy, you want to make these fucking guys look like they were right for drafting you high. You want to be a professional, because you have some 7th round guy like me. Like when I was a veteran and I earned where I was at, when I would see a highly drafted guy come in and think that way, it turned me off as a player, and it made me knew that he wasn't the guy. We didn't get the right guy. You know what I mean? So like being a high drafted player, that's a huge accomplishment. That is great. But don't go out there thinking you get more opportunity because you're the higher drafted guy. The more mistakes you make, you're just making them look wrong for drafting you there. You know, so this is a high stress environment. This is pro football. That's what all these guys need to learn. Yeah, we like to do TikToks and have fun and shit. But when there's 100 guys in the locker room and they cut that bitch down to 53, you know, I think I'd rather be fucking fighting instead of TikToking and having all this fun and all this shit, because that's what it is. These guys are going to be introduced to, you know, you can't redshirt anymore.
TikToking and Instagramming and all that good stuff. That's
There's time and
that's
place.
secondary.
We all
that's
did it.
secondary. You're a football player right
But when
now.
you're new,
rookies.
these little young guys, man, you got to get in there and you got to earn your stripes.
You got to grind.
It's exciting. This is an exciting period. This is where the team is made. Hey, we got the guys. There's going to be more free agencies and shit because when all the other teams cut their guys. But, you know, this is when it starts the team.
Put that phone down. Put the phone down. Close your Netflix account and get to the grind. Football, football, football. Playbook, playbook, playbook. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Get after it. Nightclubs, going out, trying to pick up girls. Hey, that will come. Just do what you got to do to make the team.
Make the team. Because the better you do on the field, all the other stuff comes.
Exactly.
The better you are as a player, your followers will get up. The better you are as a player and the better your team does, the more money you'll make off the field. The better you are as a player and the better your team does, you know, put you in different circles. You probably get hotter chicks too.
Ding, 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 ding. That was a knockout right there, Jules. Hit it right on the money. Just ball out and they will all come. You don't even have to try then. You don't even have to try.
You keep the main thing, and all things will
You just
come.
walk in and then you just say, hi, I'm Rob. And, oh, hi, Rob.
Exactly.
Hi, I'm Jules. Hi, Jules. You're so cute. I like your beard. Oh, you're so hairy. Oh, because you're a squirrel. Oh, you're so furry. I just want to snuggle you, Jules. You just said your name.
That's what happens
You
when
just
you
said
win.
your name only, Jules, but that's what happens when you win and ball out on the field.
I don't even know what we just went
Yeah,
through.
me neither.
But what letter grade would you give the Patriots?
I give them an A. I mean, I truly believe they had probably the best draft in the NFL for what they needed and for the value of every pick. So hands down, I give them an A. I truly, like I said, that Henderson pick with the second round when they took him at running back, I was really thrilled with that. I mean, great value, great job by everyone. And I think he's going to be a good guy for offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels to work with as well and develop him.
I'm excited with the draft. I'm not giving it a letter grade. I mean, you can't trade the draft until like 2 years. I got to see him take a pro snap. Got to see him be able to call a play in the huddle or take a play, digest a install day. Seeing something new for the first time, bringing it from the classroom to the drill to the grass, all that stuff. You got to see that. So, but hey, they definitely filled some things that they definitely need, and that's what you want. You want to fill holes with staple players that, what is this? Jules is more of a pass-fail kind of guy. I loved those pass-fail classes. And did you ever have any pass-fail classes?
I think gym class one time, one year it became a pass-fail. But you're a pass-fail guy, and you're not giving out a grade for the Patriots draft. So was it a pass or was it a fail then, Jules?
It's a pass.
It is a pass. I understand why you're not giving out grades because they haven't played a snap in football. And I've always wondered that too, because after the draft, all those mock draft people like Mel Kiper and all those guys, they'd be like, oh, this team got an A, this team drafted, I give them a C. But how the heck would you possibly know that, until they play a snap of football in the NFL, like you were saying, Julian? But they're just giving the grades for what they think, they needed and how they think they will be in the future for the team. I really want to see those grades and then watch the year, pan out with all those rookie draft picks and then go back and grade the drafts. That's one thing that's never been done before that I'd never seen on the internet is those draft grades. I want to see them after the season where those rookie draft classes rank and then compare them to the grade that they got after, the 3 days after the draft. That would be really cool to see and just see it on paper as well to, compare it and see all these draft pundits, how good they really are as well.
Well, we should do that next year. We'll do that after the year. We'll do we'll grade the draft. We'll grade the draft after the year. And Rob, the reason why let me fill you in a little secret.
All right.
The reason why they grade the draft so in comparison to their grades, they grade them to how they project the guys. But who's projecting the guys for which team and who's what I mean? There's a whole I don't get it.
But that's why I want to compare it to once they play a whole season and then, grade how the rookies all did.
It's really 2 seasons.
And then, give it 2 seasons.
It's really 2 seasons because I want to see the first year, they're rookies and they could look really good, but it's more of that. The biggest leap you get is that second year. It's your first time in the offseason program. It's your first time knowing what's going on in your schedule life of where you are, where to go. It's your, you have just more comfortability to learn and blossom after your first year because you already know what it's about. Now you can work on you.